10:47. It's still raining. So it's 12:30 now. I'm trying to decide what to do. I could just stay in the tent all day long and wait out the rain, which is tempting because I hate cycling in the rain. I just hate being cold and wet, getting my feet wet, getting everything wet. Whereas right now the only thing that's wet is the outside of the tent. Or I could pack everything up and just go for it. It's not raining like crazy hard. At least right now it's not. So that's a possibility. I mean, the truth is I need to get out of the tent at some point because I got to go to the bathroom. And I'm also going to need food and water at some point. I do have enough water to survive for, 24 hours in the tent. And my food, I have more than enough food, but it's hung up in a tree 1,000 feet away. So I have to go outside and get wet to go get it. So I probably need to just get up and go. I only wanted to go 37 miles today because I did a little bit extra yesterday. So that's as far as I have to go, 37 miles. I could do that in 4 hours. But 4 hours in the rain sucks. So I'm trying to just muster up the courage to pack up and go. I just don't want to. I've decided I'm going to go for it. I'm going to pack everything up and ride 37 miles, hopefully, something like that, in the rain. So the first step is to pack everything as best I can inside the tent so that I have to do as little outside the tent as possible. So that means packing up the sleeping bag, the sleeping pad, all my clothing, put my clothes on, pack all my bags except for the food bag, which is in the tree. And then when I jump outside the tent, I pack the tent as quickly as possible, put it in my pannier, go grab the food bag, and then leave. That's the plan. First step, gotta get out of the sleeping bag. Another thing that I've kind of just realized is I've barely spoken to anybody other than myself for the last 72 hours or so. Yesterday I went into the supermarket in Libby, and the woman that was checking me out, checking my food out, I guess I should say, she was asking what kind of adventure I was up to because she could tell that I was just, a mess. And I kind of told her, that I'm biking across Montana. And that's pretty much the only conversation I've had in the last 3 days. So, you spend a lot of time by yourself on these bike tours. And I think for some people, it could really be a problem, honestly. If you're the sort of person that needs constant social interaction, a bike tour like this would be really tough. And I'm out here right now with no cell coverage, so I can't call anybody. I have no internet. So that's not an option either, Like, I do have my phone, which definitely helps to keep me entertained. It gives me things to think about because I can read books on here. I listen to podcasts. I don't personally listen to music, but I guess if you're a music person, you could listen to music. I watch movies. Last night I watched 7 Years in Tibet with Brad Pitt, which was really good. I've never seen that before. And so, like, having all of that right here in my phone is pretty cool. And that helps to give me something to think about other than just like, oh, it's raining and I'm miserable. So, But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a skill learning to be by yourself for so long. And it doesn't really bother me so much on the short term, like this trip is 2 weeks long and I could go the whole 2 weeks without talking to anybody. That wouldn't be an issue. I think for me, the thing that I struggle with more is the long term effects of just being by myself for so long. Because, for example, I don't want to be alone all the time, but I also enjoy going off on these trips where I am alone. And so what that oftentimes means is me leaving home for long stretches of time and not seeing my friends that I want to be hanging out with. And generally that means that I have to sacrifice some of those friendships in order to do these trips. And I don't want to give up the whole friendship, obviously, but sometimes other people interpret it, me going away as me saying, well, I don't care so much about the friendship or whatever. Or I just lose track with people over time, I'm gone for weeks, months, years at a time, and you just kind of fade away into the distance. And that's happened a lot over the years, because I've been doing this for 22 years. And I make friends, but then I kind of lose them because I'm gone so much. Whereas if I lived a normal life where I'm just home all the time, that wouldn't happen quite so often. So that's what I mean about the long-term kind of effects of being by myself for so long is I'm alone on the trips, and then I'm kind of alone when I go home because I've lost the friends that I had there, or I have to make new friends and start all over again. So yeah, it's not the greatest way to live, and I'm trying to figure out how to solve that issue, partially just by being home a little bit more than I have been in the past, which has helped. But overall, yeah, it's still a problem I'm trying to solve. So I've got all of my bags packed now, except for I just gotta put my shoes on and pack up the tent, and then I'm ready to go. And it's kind of died down from raining at the moment, which is nice. So I think this is good timing. If it was like pouring rain right now, I would never jump outside my tent. I'd just stay here longer. But the fact that it's super light at the moment is encouraging. Okay. So, put my glasses on. I am fully dressed except for the tent being torn down. So everything is packed. Every single one of my bags. Handlebar bag is ready to go. Front panniers are ready to go. The rear pannier just needs the tent inside of it. And that's it. So, here we go. I hung my food in a tree over here, I don't know, about 1,000 feet away from the tent. And I couldn't find a good place to hang my food. So I hung it in a really terrible spot, but I figure at the very least, it'll keep it away from squirrels and stuff. But a bear could totally have gotten this food if he wanted to. So I can see the bag now, it's still there. Which is a good sign. Make sure there's no bears around while I go to retrieve this thing. So there it is. Like I said, a bear could totally get that if he wanted to, but it's high enough off the ground that you wouldn't be able to reach it. You'd have to climb the tree. But there it is. Okay, mission accomplished. I got the food bag. And I didn't get too wet doing it, which is good. Now I gotta go back and go to the bathroom. I gotta take a shit. Tired already here. Just carrying the food bag.
It's a little wet.
Yeah.
Cold.
Is it Darren?
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
That's funny.
Big fan.
That's cool. What's your name?
Jim.
Jim.
Yeah.
Jim.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's hilarious.
I gotta grab a picture.
Yeah, we gotta get one together. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm Jim from Vancouver Island. I'm just cycling to Ontario. Out here in Montana. This wet day. Yeah.
And what made you want to do this?
Every year I do a cycling fundraising for cancer, and this one it's just to kick it up a notch and go a little bit further and keep it going.
So are you doing a fundraiser right now?
Yeah. I have people pledging me as I go, and all the support. I love it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what's been the best part of your ride so far?
Meeting people for sure. Just stopping in, talking to people. The conversations, everything's been great. Yeah.
And what about challenges? Have you faced any challenges along the way?
Been pretty lucky so far. The weather, the hills, all kind of welcome challenges as you go by. You beat them, and then you take on the next challenge, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
And why the cancer fundraiser?
I struggled with cancer in the past, and just wanted to pay back originally, but it's really satisfying getting all that support and everything else, and it's for children's cancer, and it's nice to see them get a fighting chance at life also. So,
cool.
Yeah.
That's a really cool thing that you're doing.
Right on. Yeah, really loving it. So it's good.
In multiple ways.
Yeah.
Like ride and the fundraising.
Right.
And everything.
Yeah.
That's cool. So where are you off to now?
I'm hoping to get to Libby tonight, but it's a ways away, so I'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Well, enjoy
stuff.
the rest of your ride.
Will do. Thanks.
So that was Jim back there. He's from Canada. He's doing a bike tour to raise money for cancer research or something. And he recognized me right away. Pretty cool guy. I'm tired. I'm going up a big hill right now. I can't even think. But yeah, that was awesome running into him. And he's going north to Libby, which is where I was yesterday. And I'm going south, and I'm only about 10 miles from the road up here where I'm gonna turn towards Missoula. So I'm nearing the end of my trip, even though I still have like 4 more days left. So I pulled over on the side of the road here. I'm getting drenched right now, and it's not a lot of fun. I'm not shooting a lot today because I don't want to ruin my camera, and yeah, I'm just trying to decide what to do. So there's a car behind me. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go 20-25 more miles if it doesn't get too miserable. If it does get miserable, I'm just gonna roll off into the woods somewhere. And I just checked the weather for the next 48 hours, and it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow, 96% chance of rain. So it's probably gonna be very similar to today, which totally sucks. So I may just like sleep in my tent all day tomorrow and not ride my bike. I'm tempted to want to do that, but we'll see. I'm not sure if I have enough food for that, but yeah, I'm gonna keep going. So I've turned onto this little side road which parallels the highway. Super nice to get off that highway. I have no cars here, and the road is super nice. Look at this thing. Got the whole thing to myself. So it's still kind of raining on and off. It's like sprinkling. My shorts have pretty much dried out, but my back is wet from sweat and it's pretty cold. Like my face is kind of frozen and I'm having a hard time talking. So I've gone almost 30 miles now for today. I've just put my head down and pedaled, and I'm making good time considering I woke up super late and didn't get started until this afternoon. So I've only got about maybe 10 more miles that I want to cover today, and then I'll start looking for a place to camp. Unless it gets crazy clear and sunny and I can just keep going. Whoa, what was that? Otherwise, yeah, 10 more miles and then a place to sleep. Alright, so I just pulled off on the National Forest Service land, which means I am looking for a place to camp. That's the nice thing about national forests, is you can camp pretty much anywhere you want once you get in there. So I'm going to go down just a little ways so I'm not right by the road, and then try to find somewhere flat, which looks like it could be a difficult thing to do in this area, and pitch my tent for the night, knowing that I might be in that tent for a very long time, considering tomorrow it's supposed to rain like it did today. So look at this view behind me. Nice. So I've biked 3 miles down this road and I cannot find a good place to camp. I just found this little pullout on the side of the road, which I don't like to camp just on the side of the road because anyone driving past will see me here. And there's a sign right here up on this tree that says registered mining claim. Absolutely no prospecting allowed. This includes panning, sluicing, dredging, metal detecting, or any other activities that result in the removal of minerals. So it doesn't say anything about camping. So I mean, I can camp here. I'm thinking maybe of pushing my bike just behind those trees so I have a little bit of privacy and I'm not just parked like right here on the road. I think that's what I'm going to do. The only problem is if I park here, then people see that I'm here. If I hide over there, someone might come in and try to camp here. Unlikely, but it could happen. All right, so I'm sitting under a tree right now just to try to protect myself a little bit from the rain. It just started sprinkling. I've got this for dinner. I'm gonna try mashed potatoes, instant mashed potatoes, just add water. That's what you want when you're bike touring. No need for oil, eggs, milk, nothing. So I've never had this before. I don't know if it'll be any good, but if it's terrible, I still have stuff for sandwiches afterwards, so I'll probably eat both. So I ended up going just over 40 miles today, which I'm kind of surprised because the weather was terrible. And I didn't film during the worst of it because I just didn't want to ruin my camera. But it was cold and wet. I couldn't see where I was going sometimes because there was so much water in my eyes. Come on. And yeah, so 40 miles doesn't seem like a lot, but considering I didn't start till 1 o'clock today, and considering the weather, it's pretty good. So, and here we are in another free campsite in the National Forest. So, how much water? 2 cups of boiling water. How much is 2 cups now? Yeah, so I ran into that guy Jim today, who is also a cancer survivor like myself, and he's doing these bike rides for charity now, which is cool. I've thought about doing stuff like that, but I don't know. I've never really wanted to be like known as like the cancer guy, you know what I mean? So I've never really seriously considered doing something like that. But I kind of asked him, how are you doing since you had cancer, you know? And he's like, oh yeah, doing great, really going after things, trying to, you know, if I felt like I wasted my youth, so I'm trying to do things. And I was telling him that that's exactly the response that a lot of people think that I've had after having gone through cancer. But the reality is, and like I was telling Jim, I said, you know, the opposite is kind of true for me, where it's really taken away a lot of my motivation for a lot of things because I'm just not interested in doing certain things that otherwise I would have felt like I had to do, or like I'll put in my time and then I'll get paid off later. When you think that there is no later, it takes away your motivation to do things now, if that makes sense. So yeah, so I don't know if he fully understood what I was saying, but I'm glad that he's feeling the way that he is. So his situation sounds better than mine mentally. I don't know, I can't speak for him. I just put this instant mashed potato stuff into my pot, and at first I thought I had way too much water in here, but now look at it. Oh my god, it looks and smells really good actually. It looks almost like regular mashed potatoes. I have no butter or anything to put on this, but okay, here we go. It tastes good.
I mean, for campfire food, I'm gonna look for these again because it's super nice. It's warm, which is very nice on a rainy day. It's got a little bit of flavoring in it. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I'm looking at the ingredients. It smells something like, I don't know. Anyways, it's got some spices in there. Make it taste good. Don't need butter or gravy or anything. Woo! Mashed potatoes! Campfire mashed potatoes! Woo! Woo! Okay. It's time to hang my food bag. I have my toiletries and all my food inside this one bag. This is one of my pannier bags. So I just tie some parachute cord to the handle. I tie the other end of the parachute cord around a rock like this, just an irregularly shaped rock where the cord will hold. And then I throw this rock up over a branch, and I'm going to throw it up over this branch right here, and you can see how I get it up there. I've changed into my warm clothes. I got my fleece jacket on, which is thankfully still dry. If there's anything, you know, bike touring kind of teaches you to be thankful for a lot of things, but food, water, shelter, all that kind of thing. Today I'm just thankful to be dry because being wet sucks. It was very cold and very wet today, so I'm glad that it's not raining at the moment as well. It was nice that I was able to set up my tent without getting totally drenched. We shall see, however, what tomorrow holds. For now, I am going to watch Dark Shadows, which is a movie by Tim Burton starring Johnny Depp. I'm going to watch this, and then I'm going to go to sleep, and then hopefully when I wake up in the morning, it's not pouring rain. We shall see.